All right, welcome back to the Are You Strong show. Man, I have a guy who's coming on the show today. I've never seen this amount of energy. And we had a little pre-show chat, and this guy brings the electricity. But let me talk about his athletic career first. He's a Maryland Terp, the Turtles, right? He played baseball down there. And I got some stats on him. We just talked about it a little bit, and he mentioned that some of them might not be records anymore, but they're pretty impressive stuff. 62 stolen bases was second all time at the time. 158 runs scored, 85 walks, 27 sacrifice hits. But the record he had at the time was 33 stolen bases in a season. And that's a lot of bases. I think you're only playing 50, 40, 50 games back at that time for baseball. But 4-year letter winner, team captain, scholar athlete. Now he's got a couple of neat things. I don't know what they are, but I'm going to ask him. The Omicron Delta Kappa National Leadership Honor Society, the Sigma Circle Leader of the Year, and he's got a book called Jolt, which I can't wait to get into that. And wait do you see the energy on this guy? But welcome to the show, Larry Long Jr.
Hold on, Jeff. Is my microphone on? I can't fool you again. I am super excited and thrilled and happy to be here. The check is in the mail for that amazing introduction. I need to take you on the road with me because, like I said, I don't like it, Jeff.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Love
that's
it.
it.
Love
There you
it.
go. So, you have your professional career after baseball is really cool. I want to get into that, but this is a sports show to start out. So let's get into who you are first before I hit you with a ton of questions. Tell the audience just a little bit about yourself. I mean, you and I just chatted for 15, 20 minutes before we started recording, and man, you just bring the energy.
Oh man, I appreciate it. You make it easy. I'm happy to be here. Larry Long Jr. Currently, I'm the CEO, not your average CEO, but I'm the Chief Energy Officer of
Love that.
LLJR Enterprises. Growing up, I grew up in VA medical centers. Both of my parents worked for the VA. We were in Grand Island, Nebraska, a lot of twisters. We were in Danville, Illinois, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Coatesville, Pennsylvania. I was born in Maryland, went back to Maryland for middle school, high school, and then I played baseball at University of Maryland. It's funny, when I moved from Tuscaloosa to Coatesville, Pennsylvania, they put me in speech classes so I could learn how to enunciate my words. They said, "Little
Okay.
Larry, how old are you?" I said, "I'm four." They said, "For what?" I said, "I'm 4 years old." They said, "Oh, heck no." They told my mom and dad, "He's going to get teased out of the school. We need to have him learn how to speak proper." So
Yeah.
that ties into what I do. You won't believe this, Jeff, but in elementary, middle, and high school, they had the nerve to send me to detention for talking. My teachers would say, "Larry, you talk too much and you never shut up." They would say, "Quiet,
Yeah.
please." And I
Yeah.
didn't know how to be quiet. But now I pinch myself every day, just not too hard because I'm living the
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like you're living the dream.
Yeah.
I get paid to serve and to speak all across the globe.
Think about that for a second. You're getting paid to speak when years and years ago somebody said you couldn't speak right. How
That's
sick is
right.
that?
That's right. I used to get in trouble for it.
That is crazy.
I used to get shunned for
Yeah.
talking and not talking proper, and now it's my career. Who
Yep.
would have thunk it? I think Kevin Garnett said it best. Anything is
Yeah. Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. Well, I want to say something before we get started because this is going to be on every platform, but for those that are audio only,
Yeah.
that are listening on like Spotify or something, you have to go to YouTube and watch this because I can't wait for them to see all your props, all the things you're doing. It's just a different venue, right? It's a different way to watch and listen because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, the great philosopher said it best. Aristotle, no, it wasn't Aristotle. It was the other great philosopher, J.J. Walker, said it best. My energy is dynamite. So you gotta watch the video.
Oh my goodness. So let's go backwards in time a little bit.
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a lot of fun. But let's get a little serious for a
Sure.
second. Um, you went to University of Maryland and played baseball. That's pretty damn good baseball, right?
ACC action. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's yeah. So
Four-year starter. I mean, I'm undersized. I'm 5 foot nothing. That's 5'9 3/4, and I'm
yeah,
rounding up just a smidge,
yeah,
which rounds up to 6 foot, which might as well call me a 7 footer. But I'm a little dude. But I
yeah,
came in and I've got a big heart. My
yeah,
my father ran track in Maryland, long jump, triple jump. He grew up in Baltimore City. You talk
mm,
about grinding.
yeah,
You talk about that was his meal ticket out of the projects.
yeah,
And he passed that along to me. He said, "Hey, I don't care how small you are. No one can overtake your heart."
yeah,
And there's a saying that you can't beat a man or a woman that just won't give up.
yeah,
And for me, I busted my behind. I said, "I'll make up for what I might be lacking in God-given ability. I'm gonna make up for it on my grind." I'll never forget my parents because we weren't well off. We struggled financially, but
yeah,
we were rich in love. My parents said, "We're going to invest in this solo hitter." It was essentially a tee. It was like a net. We had it in my
yeah,
garage. The ball is hanging from a string. You
yeah,
hit it into the net and it comes back. And then you hit it again and it comes back. They said, "We'll invest in you if you'll invest in you." So they
mm,
bought me lessons. Coach Paul Donovan, RIP. He was my travel baseball coach, worked with me on form, and we'll
yeah,
invest in this tool if you use it. So they said, "We'll give you the recipe. Come home from school, do your homework. That's number one priority. We
yeah,
want you to also practice your clarinet." I wanted to play the saxophone. They
yeah,
couldn't afford a saxophone, so they got me a used clarinet. I was squeaking away,
yeah, yeah,
trying my best and forgetting the rest, but I was terrible. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Chris Dodson, who was the number one saxophonist, he's now the orthopedic surgeon with the Philadelphia 76ers. He used
Okay.
to always have, "Hey, we're right here, you big dummy." I used to always get lost on where I was, no matter how much practice. But that just shows you that you got to stay in your lane. I'm not
Yeah,
musically inclined, but I would
yeah,
practice my clarinet and then I would take 100 swings
mm,
every Monday through Friday. Even when my friends on Friday night were at the mall, they
yeah.
were at the ice skating rink,
And
hanging
how
out,
old were you
having
then?
fun. My parents said, "We will invest in you if you invest in you." I
Yeah,
started 4 years in high school, excelled, 4 years in college in the ACC Division One. Anything is possible.
yeah. So when did you realize that you could play at that level? Was that like eighth grade, ninth grade, or was it you were a late bloomer?
Nah, I was a beast in in Little League. Coach Pitch. We still have the VHS tape.
Yeah,
And my dad coached me for that first year. I played catcher. I thought that was Gary Carter, Benito Santiago behind the dish. My mom would help put on my shin guards in
yeah,
between innings. I was a mess, but I loved it. But
yeah,
we have a VHS video. When I came up, they said, "Back up, back up." We had another African American on our team. He came up. They said, "Back up, back." "No, it ain't Larry. Come on in." I, I hate to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I was
yeah.
a beast. I was athletically gifted.
All
I
right.
hit a growth spurt. I was taller than most kids in middle school. Now, what
Okay.
happened was I stopped growing. I thought I was a beast in basketball. I scored 50 points in good old Columbia Youth Basketball Association. I thought I was going to the NBA.
Yeah,
When you're 5'9" and everyone else catches up and then they start exceeding it, it's
yeah,
like, "Get that little stuff out of here, Larry. You
yeah,
ain't nobody." So
yeah,
I was athletically inclined,
yeah.
worked hard, but basketball wasn't quite the
In
game.
the cards.
I played varsity 1 year and then I ran indoor track because I knew that baseball was going to be my meal ticket.
Yep.
And I love it. I love basketball, but baseball was my jam.
All right. So what was the recruiting process like? Because today, Larry, the recruiting process today is insane. What was it like for you coming out of high school at that particular time? Was it stressful? Were your parents involved? Were you making the decisions by yourself? How'd that go?
Oh, I had my parents' advice and guidance, but I was grinding, and they invested. We had some. There were some clearing houses and some groups that, for a fee, they would send your VHS tape to be donated to Division One programs. I think I sent out a VHS tape to every Division One program. I was making calls. I was sending letters. I don't think email even existed. That was
Yeah.
I graduated in 1996. I don't remember sending out
I don't know.
any emails at the time, but
Yeah.
I do remember sending out letters and making phone calls. And I wasn't hot to trot. I played summer baseball. I got some looks, but mostly it was Division Two, Division Three. I live in Durham, North Carolina
Yeah.
now. I'll never forget North Carolina Wesleyan, coach Mike Fox, who ended up going to Carolina. He was recruiting me. I said, okay. North Carolina Wesleyan, their biggest rival, Methodist. Some of the local schools, Towson, UMBC,
Yeah.
they were giving me a little bit of rhythm, but not much. But being a Terrapin legacy, I wanted to play for University of Maryland. So that was my top choice. When they invited me and my parents on a recruiting visit, my dad was proud as can be. And
Yeah, I bet.
I think they say, show me the money. It wasn't a lot, but just a little bit goes a
Yeah.
long way with in-state
Yeah.
tuition. So
Yeah.
my sister, she got a full ride as a long jumper, triple jumper, and she was legitimate. She was top notch. Me,
Yeah.
I was good. She was great, but
Right.
yeah, got some academic money. My parents always stressed academics first. If
Yep.
you don't take care of business in the classroom, you won't even have the opportunity to take care of business on the diamond, on the
Yeah.
pitch, on the whatever it is, on
Yeah.
the court. So I was pretty solid there. My support network was amazing. My father, I lost him 10 years ago, just
Mm.
amazing. My mother, amazing. My sister, supportive. And then all of our family friends, the whole process, it was strainful, not stressful. It was strained
Yeah.
because you know what you want and it's reciprocal. Do they want
Yeah.
you? I got a
Yeah.
lot of no's.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough hearing those no's at 18, right? And like it's enough. Your identity is already struggling to trying to figure it out, let alone have all these schools say we don't want you. So
Yeah.
you show up as a freshman. Talk about that. You go from high school being the guy
Yes.
to freshman year, where now you're playing with some kids that are 23 years old. They're like, they're grown men, compared to you as a little 18-year-old guy. What was that experience like? How did you adapt? And when did you realize, like, hey, this is a good fit for me?
Yeah. Well, great question. I got to give a shout out to my teammate at the time, Kevin Haverbush. He was out of Long Island. He ended up playing some minor league ball. He was focused. So a good
Okay.
buddy of mine says, "Hey, if you're a ball player, you're either interested, committed,
Committed.
or obsessed."
Um,
Kevin Haverbush was obsessed.
mm.
One track. He would skip class. Sorry, Kevin, I don't want to give all your secrets, but he would skip class in order to hit balls. He was always hitting. So I wasn't going to skip class, but after class, I'm going to run to the cage. And he was a junior. And he would say, Larry, feed me 2 buckets. I'll feed you one. And at first I was like, okay. And then I said, hold up, wait a minute. I'll feed you two. You feed me two.
Yeah.
This ain't fair. I need to get
Yeah.
my swings in.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from him with his approach, his diligence, and it was in the details.
Yeah.
Plus, he was athletically inclined, 6'3", had
Mm.
an absolute missile, played shortstop. We had him pitch a little bit. But yeah, I learned a lot from him. That freshman year was exhilarating. I didn't believe that I belonged there. ACC,
Yeah.
Division One, but we went through our individual workouts. So it was me, J.R. Thomas, RIP. Another one of the outfielder would be 3 outfielders. We're doing outfield drills. We're working on hitting. It was a whole elevated experience
Yeah.
of baseball. I loved it because it gave me things to work on. It
Yeah.
challenged me. Fall ball, I had an amazing fall season. I was number 3 on the depth chart as a freshman. So I said, I'm not the best math major. I'm not a mathematician, but there's left field, center field, and right field. I'm number 3. I'm gonna be starting when we start off the season. Well, in my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice, survey says, yeah, I was riding the pine. I was sitting on the bench saying, what happened? I busted my behind during the winter break, working out, getting stronger because I was just a
Yeah.
little scrawny kid. I was getting stronger, pumping iron. Came in and got heartbroken But my father said, hey, hang in there. It ain't personal, it's just business. Who
Yeah.
knows? You better be ready for your chance. Needless to say, I wasn't ready for my chance. I started off my career one for my first 24. I think that it's
No.
definitely well below the Mendoza line, under 200. I think it's 0.048, and I'm probably fudging. I think I rounded up just to
Yeah.
make myself feel better. But I'll never forget, we came down to UNC Greensboro. Uh, I think I had four strikeouts on the weekend, getting in as a defensive replacement. And I remember talking on my, I think it was a BlackBerry or a flip phone, talking to my dad. We were at South Hill, Virginia, at the Burger King. He said, "How you feeling?" Because he came down for that series. I said, "I feel terrible, Dad. I stink. I don't belong in the ACC. I don't even know if I belong in Division One." My dad hopped through that phone. He yoked me up. He had some choice 3 letter and 4 letter words. Use your imagination.
Yeah.
He said, "Boy, you can't have my name with a stank beep attitude like that. That's not how we roll.
Yeah.
Get back to the drawing board and work harder. And most importantly, get your mind right."
Mm.
It's like the Henry Ford quote, whether
Yeah.
you believe you can or believe you can't,
Right.
you're
You're
right.
right.
Carolina came to town. UNC. Woo
Big
wee. I
time.
don't
Yeah.
like UNC, but I got them colors back there because I wasn't licking my chops, but I am now. I got in the eighth inning. I got a blue pit over the first baseman's head. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was on top of the world. ACC, night action. I started on Saturday, 3 for 4. Started on Sunday, 2 for 4. That's all she wrote. I listened to my dad, got
You
my
got your brain
mind
right.
right that
Yeah.
I do belong here, killed it. Batted 289 overall, 318 in the ACC, batting nine. I saw a steady diet of fastballs. I can hit a fastball. Now, if there's something that has a wrinkle in it, Houston, we have a problem. But you give me fastballs, I'm going to eat all day and all night
How many
long.
different colored bats you got over there?
Come on, man. We got to. This is my ode to Carolina. I love seeing them come to town. Sweet Carolina.
Oh my God, you're a piece of work. So how about, you kind of talked about it, but the mental side,
Yeah.
was that your biggest mental challenge that freshman year when they like, hey, you're sitting over there and you've never sat before?
It definitely was. Because you start questioning yourself. You start
Yeah.
looking in the mirror and saying, "What's wrong with me? What's why is this happening to me? It's not fair."
Yeah.
Larry, get used to it. I just had this conversation with my son. Life isn't fair. We just talked about this last night. Life is not fair. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Control the controllables.
Yeah.
A good buddy of mine up in Boston, John Barrows. I think I have. Yep, I've got his challenge coin here. He's got a term that he and his daughter. It's called eat. Now I'm
Mm.
trying to cut down on what I eat, so I'll flip it and reverse it and call it tea. I'm here in North Carolina, so we'll call it sweet tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, ode to Bojangles, the chicken, biscuits, and sweet tea. But you can control how you treat other people.
Yeah.
You can control your emotions and you can control your actions and your attitude. Outside of that, you can't really control much.
Yeah.
So that was a lesson learned. And I think they say a lesson earned that, hey, Larry, you better control what you can control and
Right.
everything else. It's going to be
But
what it is, but
Larry,
control
can
what
we
you do.
let's drive that a little deeper because everything you said, hey, you can control, right? But when you're a young kid, man, that's hard to do. How the hell did you do it?
Um, through prayer,
All
through
right.
parents, through support. Jason Mohat, my roommate, we had plenty of conversations. What's up, J Mo? We were both freshmen trying to
Yeah.
figure it out ourselves. He was trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it. He was a superstar, football, baseball, basketball stud out of Pennsylvania. He was a beast. But we
Yeah.
we both had our challenges. And you're right. When you're young, I think they say your prefrontal cortex isn't completely formed. I
Yeah.
have to remind myself of that with my son because some of his decision making,
Yeah. You're like,
he
what's
he
up?
must get it from his mama. Now he gets
Definitely.
it honestly, but it wasn't alone. And I know the Super Bowl's coming up. We're not gonna have a wardrobe malfunction, JD, but I gotta tell you, I got it on my chest. We is greater than
And
me,
me. Yeah.
and I
That's
can
great.
tell you, I didn't do it alone.
Yeah.
my old travel coaches, Paul Donovan, Larry Thompson, my
Yeah.
old teammates who were also
Yeah.
freshmen, Robin Davis, Jimmy Harris. I mean, I can go on. Having that support network,
Yeah.
and then my seniors, having the senior Scott Bronowitz and Chris Blue and Casey Trout and
Yeah.
J.R. Thomas, Chuck Mans. I mean, it's about the people. And,
Right.
and and the lesson that I learned then that I didn't even realize it, we're all in sales, and in sales, it's about the relationships.
Yeah.
A gentleman out of South Florida, Steve Nudelberg, said, Larry, what I've learned is the difference between contacts, people you know, and contracts, people you do business with. It's the letter R, and the R is relationships. Well, I was doing business with those folks, even though it wasn't traditional business. It was them encouraging
Yeah.
me encouraging them, us sharing,
Yeah.
supporting, helping each other through this time. So
Yeah.
I definitely didn't do it alone. My
Right.
parents, my family, just blessed, just
But Larry,
blessed.
do you think bring that forward to today, right?
Mm,
The athletes today. Do you think it's more about me than we?
mm, no comment, but we're here to talk, so I will
Yeah.
comment. Not always,
Yeah.
not always, but it's been like that. I had teammates that didn't give a damn about
Yeah.
the team. I call
Right.
them me monsters.
Yeah.
Team loses,
Memites, termites.
yeah, they're happy. Team loses, they got theirs, they're happy. It's like we're a team here. Well, not
Yeah.
them. That's the real world.
Yeah.
Now it's amplified because you got social media, you see guys flossing, you
Yeah.
got buku bucks. I mean,
Yep.
some of these dollar figures
Oh, it's
in these
crazy.
18, 19, 20-year-old kids and
Yeah.
all the way up to 24. I mean, you got kids playing 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, what are we solving for here? But hey, I ain't mad at you. Smoke them if you got them. But
Yeah.
the system has some flaws. It
Yeah.
always has,
It
but
needs some guardrails. It's a wild, wild west now.
that it is. And there's certainly folks that are taking advantage of it, and
Yeah.
other folks that are missing
But
out.
you
But
know who's getting the raw end of the stick? It's the high school kids. They're 18, 19, wanting to go to play college sports, and they're saying, "Oh, you can't because we got 27-year-old kids coming back for their eighth year."
well,
What?
yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, student athletes.
Yeah.
What are we solving for? It's things that make you go, hmm.
Yeah.
Now the NCAA is a big behemoth, and I'm not trying
Yeah.
to fight the big behemoth, but I am going to ask the questions. What are we solving for? Are we
Yeah.
solving for the student athlete, or are we solving for something else? I'm not sure what it might be, but I
Yeah.
think they have a pretty good idea.
Yeah. You
Follow
take
the
the money,
money.
you take the money out of it, you're not going to find these 26-year-old quarterbacks in college. They should be in the NFL for the last 4 years if they're that good. But see, these kids are making more money playing QB in college than they will be as a rookie contract.
Don't tell nobody else. Don't
Ugh,
tell, don't tell
crazy.
nobody. Yeah,
So
there's a lot of dollars at
I
stake.
know, I know. How about physically? How was that for you in school? Any injuries? Any broken anything? Any problems?
Knock on wood, just my head. No, I had a concussion. I'll never forget. We went down to Florida State, so we played Florida A&M, the Rattlers, and my biggest weakness was curveballs,
All right.
anything that had a little
The
wrinkle.
dipsy doodle.
Yeah, so I was in there. Saw it, and I said, curveball, curveball, curveball. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
fastball. I took it to the back of the head.
Really?
I got the second, I got the first base, somehow made my way to second base, and I started seeing stars. I had never had a concussion before, but I was definitely concussed. I was an Iron Man. I respect Cal Ripken, love Cal Ripken. It
Yeah.
took a lot. I never came out of the game, but I said, "Oh, I'm in trouble." I said, "Hey, coach, timeout. I
Yeah.
gotta come out."
Right.
Um, I had a concussion. Ice and Advil. Props to the Maryland training staff. Ice and Advil, you'll be okay. We play against Florida State, and I'm not starting as I shouldn't be. I get put in, and what do I see? Curveball. Uh-oh, I'm bailing out of the way. You know exactly what the steady diet was.
Yeah.
Curveball, good morning, good afternoon,
Good
good
night.
night.
Yeah.
and yeah, just being gun shy. So that was my biggest. But then I had a quad. I had strained my quad. I used to run a lot. I had the green light. And I
Yeah.
took full advantage. I'm going, go, go. I don't know if you can tell, but I like to go, go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I had a quad strain thing. It doesn't get better without rest. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm fighting through everything. So it just re-aggravated, re-aggravated. I'm hobbled, fought through it, probably to my detriment. That was my junior year. Still had a bunch of stolen bases, set the single season record. Didn't get drafted. That's what I was solving for. I
Yeah.
always had an index card. I'm the king of papers. I got papers everywhere. I've got
Yeah.
index cards everywhere. And on my index card, I always put my academic goals as well as my athletic goals in that order. And
Yeah.
one of my athletic goals was to get drafted to play pro ball. Someone picked
Yeah.
me up, I was out of here. I was sitting by the phone, the call didn't come. I was just waiting, just looking at the phone. The phone was looking at me, and
How'd
that
you
thing
handle
didn't
that?
ring. So I played summer baseball in Durham, where I live now,
Yep.
Coastal Plains League, and licked my wounds. Came back for my senior year, and I ended up getting
Oh.
mononucleosis, the
Oh
kissing
my
disease. I
God.
wasn't kissing anybody, but I got mononucleosis. Right, my birthday's June 15th. So this was June 15th. It would have been 1999, I think.
Right.
98, I don't know, but that put me in a pickle. I was in tough stuff. It was tough to battle back. My senior year was lackluster. Team said, "Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
didn't
you were the
pick you up
captain
junior
though,
year."
right?
What's up?
You were the captain though.
Yeah, I was a leader. I was a team leader
Yeah.
all throughout. I'll never forget my freshman year. I was a leader. I came in the best shape of my life. We did a lot of running. And the seniors, they hated it, seeing my little gazelle behind, lapping them. And they were like, slow down, young. And I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, not where I'm from. I'm going to make a name for myself. And I was a bit, we've all heard the stories about Ricky Henderson. I love
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slapping my leg. They said, "Hey, slow down, youngster. You
Yeah.
do that, you're gonna get us beamed. We're gonna take one to the back of the head." I said, I don't care." But I learned that there's a balance, and
Yeah.
yes, and I can still shine without making them look lackluster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was an adjustment, and it taught me when I went into the real world, it taught me a whole lot of skills that were transferable from the baseball diamond into the boardroom.
Yeah. Yeah. So before you went to the real world, you're captain.
Yeah.
How did being the captain influence you in the real world? Did that change the way you look at people, change the way you look at things? Because not all leaders are captains, and not all captains are leaders. But if you're a captain and a leader, that's a difference.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. My midweek, midday motivational minute, episode number 299, yesterday, I talked about that. Doesn't matter what your title is. You
Yeah.
can have the title of leader, head
Right.
of. That doesn't mean nothing. It's
Yeah.
your actions. It's what do you do? How do you treat people? How do you handle
Yeah.
situations? So, like I said, I wasn't the captain my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, but I was a leader and I was a vocal leader and I also led by example.
Yeah.
Freshman year, I came out the gates. I busted my behind and I showed people, hey, we're going to be excellent.
Yeah.
And for me, mm, one of the biggest challenges I have is to see potential wasted. And we had some beasts. I'm not gonna say any names, but we had some folks on my team that they could get it in if they
Yeah.
applied themselves. And to see them in the weight room walking around just looking at the weights and the weights looking at them, it's like you're wasting so much talent. I wish I
Mm.
had your talent, your strength, your size. But I'm gonna let you know you're wasting it. And that's a daggone shame. And I'm gonna show you I'm getting I can look back and say I got the most out of my talent. So that's for me, that's what
Yeah.
leadership is. It's
Yeah.
showing people how it's done, and it's also, and my friend, I got to give props. Sam McKenna, she has it trademarked. Show me that you know me. No,
Mm.
no one cares how much you know. how much you do until they know how much you care.
Care. Yeah.
It's the people business. I,
Yeah.
I call it B2B. And most people say, oh, yeah, business to business. In my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice, survey says, nah, that's the traditional B2B, but I don't do anything traditional. B2B is belly to belly. Jeff, you and I, we spent some time before we started recording to
Yeah.
get belly to belly.
Yeah.
I know that you're a Maine, is that a banana tea bear? You're a bear, played football at Maine. I know that you're in financial services. I know that you're having the time of your life. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's by design that for the most part, we've been blessed with two ears
Yeah.
and
And
one
one mouth.
mouth
Yep.
for a reason. We should be listening two times as we talk. And
Yeah.
that's leadership right there. That's
Yeah.
your people that you influence knowing Larry cares about me.
Yeah.
Larry has my back. I used to be called the mayor of College Park because I knew a lot of people from different roads,
Yeah.
and I'm going to help you out. Anywhere that I can help you out, I'm going to connect you. I'm going to hook you up, not just on the baseball diamond, but in life in general. And that's going a long ways. That
Yeah.
lesson right there, that practice. I'm not Allen Iverson, but we're
Yep.
talking about practice. That practice has certainly played into where I am today and the
Yeah.
success that I'm having,
Yeah.
just God willing.
So who's been your most influential leader in your life?
Yeah, my mom and my dad,
All right.
being able to see their example. My
Right.
father, Shorty Long, Larry Long, he's the original, but his nickname was Shorty Long. I'm 5'9 3/4. He's about 5'8, and that's rounding up. But he had springs. I
Yeah.
remember growing up at the track and him working on his steps, working on his form for the long jump, for the triple jump is a beast.
Yeah.
That's a heck of an event. I tried it. I
That's
said
it.
I
That's
got to tap out.
impossible.
I said let me do the sprints, but seeing his example, seeing my mom's example, my mom went to community college but never got a degree. You talk about street smart, you talk about hustle, you talk about care. When you're a kid, it's not what your parents say. Yeah, don't do that, don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really what they
What they
do.
do.
And
Yeah.
as I look back, it's my mom still says it. She says, Lil Larry. I'm like, don't call me Lil Larry. I'm bigger than you. I'm bigger than what my pops was. She says, your actions speak so loud. I
Yeah.
can't hear what you're saying. So my parents' example of me being able to see them, my dad, he never missed a day of work unless he was coming to one of my games or my sister's games. He would shovel snow just to go in the office. I'm
Yeah.
like, who does that? My dad does, and you better believe I don't miss hardly any days of work. Now
Yeah.
I've learned that that doesn't necessarily support my mission. I'm
Yeah.
intentional with vacations and
Yeah.
time away and golf, but
You know when
it's
to turn it on and turn it off.
that's it. That's it.
Right. And it's like, say, hey, everybody says, oh, you got to have work-life balance. No, you don't. You're always out of balance. I'm either working or I'm not. That's it. So if I'm working, I got to be totally focused there. If I'm not working, I got to be totally focused there.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Yep.
It's crazy. So discipline,
Ooh.
you know, talk about that in your life. It sounds like mom and dad did a really good job instilling that in you.
Yeah.
How did you carry that through sports? And now let's say we're out of school now. You're in your corporate world, right?
Yep.
And I want to talk about that, the fun you're having, but how has discipline played a role in your life?
I still got it here. I'm a hoarder. This is my Franklin Covey planner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's open it up. Oh my goodness, I still got the inserts. Now
Oh
this
my
oh,
goodness. I used to have one of those.
this is last been updated in 2011, but my parents bought me a planner and they said use it. This was I had a cell phone, but this was before really leveraging my calendar and my cell phone. The discipline is in, we'll call it daily discipline. I got
Right?
to give a shout out to my buddy Chris Vasami who played pro baseball. He said, Larry, I know you do your Monday motivation and I give you props, but the key is in the daily discipline, not the Monday motivation. What are you doing on Wednesday afternoon? What are you doing on Thursday night? What are you doing on Saturday morning?
Yeah.
That's really the discipline. And as athletes, it's amazing because our lives are so structured. We got class, we have
Yeah.
workouts, we've got strength and conditioning, we got to go eat, We have
Yeah.
study hall. Boop, boop, boop,
Yep.
boop. For me, I had activities that I was involved in, so I had to be organized and disciplined, or else something's going to give. I take pride that I was a student scholar athlete. My freshman year, I think I ended with a 3.68. Who's
Wow.
counting?
Good for you.
Yeah, that freshman, and people said the freshman year is super important because you're either going to set the bar high and give yourself the framework, the template to have
Yep.
success, or you're going to struggle and then you're
Be playing
playing
catch up.
makeup.
Yeah.
So it really, and I didn't do it alone. I had my parents checking up on me. They were my accountability partners. I had my folks, I didn't want to stay in study hall past the one semester. So I knew I had to get at least a 3.0 to get out of study
Yep.
hall and say,
Yep.
peace be gone. I hate study hall. I'm in there doing the Diamondback, the crossword puzzle. I said, get me out of here. I don't do well when it was more like a study party. It
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of studying going on. I said, let me get back to my dorm room, but I'm a master procrastinator, and I know that. It just that's where I think I thrive.
So how do you handle that? Like, how do you work through that? Because a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm a procrastinator too," but they don't fix it. They don't try to fix it.
Yeah, so I tried unsuccessfully until I hired a performance coach
Mm,
in the business world who said, Larry, I understand you think you get your best. You're at your best when you're under pressure. And up until now, that served you. But now in your role, you've already admitted that you're not at your best. When you pull an all-nighter, you're up until 4 a.m. and you get it done just in the nick of time, but you're tired the next day,
yeah.
you're not at your best. So it's
Right.
really taking that discipline to
Hmm.
do I'll call it discipline and integrity without compromise. And that's
Ooh.
integrity with self, not with others, but being
Yeah.
having integrity with yourself of doing what's best for you, even when it's not the easy decision.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's not easy for me to do something now that's not due for 2 weeks. Why would I do it now? I can wait 2 weeks from now. But it's really, for me, it's my calendar.
But it
Using my
sure as hell feels
calendar,
good when it's over, when it's
it,
done.
it does. And getting sleep. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
47 years old.
You're a young man.
I got bags underneath my eyes. I can't do it like I used to, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. What do you really want? That I'm gonna ask a question of your viewers and listeners. What do you want specifically?
Yeah.
How can you create a vision for your life of what you want specifically? And that was one of the toughest questions for me to answer 5 years ago. I had to turn off my camera because there were tears because I knew what I wanted. I knew in my heart of hearts what I wanted, but it was scary. And I call it
Yeah.
FUD, not Elmer Fudd, but fear, uncertainty, and double doubt. Not just doubt, but double doubt in
Double
this
down.
crazy mind. I call this voice Cletus. Come on, Cletus. You're going to walk over, but you're going to limp back. I got to knock Cletus off of my shoulder almost every day. But yeah,
But how do you do that every day?
it's a choice.
Yeah.
It really is a choice. We have a choice. And essentially, it's a commitment. My coach, she called me out, and that's why I paid her the big bucks because she didn't take my stuff. She said, I hear you, Larry, and that's your reality. And I'm going to paint another picture. I'm going to plant a seed. Does it have to be? Do you have to wait until the last minute to do your best work? No. Does it serve you well to go without sleep and be sleep deprived?
Definitely not.
It might have solved you back in college, but it's not helping you get to your big vision. And it's crazy, Jeff. There's a saying that I love. We often overestimate what we can do in 5 months, and we often underestimate what we can do in 5 years. Five
Yeah.
years ago, my vision was to be a global keynote speaker. Larry, who do you think you are? You ain't Pitbull. You ain't Mr. Worldwide. Come on, man. You can't even speak in your own hometown. How are you going to speak across the globe? I wanted to have my family involved in my business and travel with me. I wanted to play golf everywhere that I went. Larry, you ain't Tiger Woods. You think you're Tiger Woods' cousin. Larry hit it in the woods, but you ain't that nice. And I wanted my fun meter to be off the charts. When I lost my father 10 years ago, I realize life is short. And for me, I'm going to live my dash to the fullest. I'm going to carpe diem. I'm not even a Latin scholar. I'm going to
Mm.
carpe diem. I met a guy who had it tattooed on his forearm. He had carpe noctem tattooed on this side. I said, dude, I'm too old to be seizing the night, but I will seize each and every day. And I made a commitment. My coach said, Larry, sometimes you commit to things that you're not committed to. You commit to it and then you don't do it, and you've got these lame excuses.
Yeah.
Don't commit. You're better off just saying, I am not committed to making 50 cold calls every day. I'm not going to do it. And just realize that by not doing it, you might miss out on something, but don't commit to stuff that you're not
Not
committed
gonna
to.
do. Yeah.
We talked about the book.
Yeah.
I wasn't committed to writing a book. I like to talk. I don't necessarily like to write, and I don't believe in my writing up until now. My coach said, "Be careful of your words. You talk so negative to yourself, Larry. You're so uplifted and positive to everyone else, but
Yeah.
to yourself, you're a negative Nancy, a negative Nelly, a negative Nick."
Self-doubter, double doubter, like you said before, double doubter.
She said, "Why is that?" She said, "I challenge you. That's not serving and supporting your vision. I challenge you to flip the script and change the narrative. Talk to yourself like you talk to everyone else. Uplift yourself, be encouraging, and see what happens." It was so tough because old habits are tough to break.
But Larry, how you're a really good athlete, you have a really good career, you're smart as heck, you got a great GPA. You come out of school, how the hell do you doubt yourself? Why are you a negative Nancy? Where's all the negativity coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from here. And I found with a lot of high performers, a lot of stellar athletes, and just smart people, the pressure comes from within. It's not
Yeah.
the external.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I hate to say it, but I'm still challenged with not believing in myself.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I just started my email newsletter at the start of 2025, and it took me 3 years. That was one of the things that my coach said. You've been talking about this newsletter. You haven't even written the first edition. Don't put it on the list. You're not committed to it. And we dug in, and she said, "Why?" I was scared. What are you scared of, Larry? Are you stupid or are you dumb? Yes, I'm both of them. Sometimes I try not to be. They said, "You go live." I do a live show, my midweek, midday motivational minute, live on LinkedIn, YouTube,
Yeah.
Facebook, and
I've seen it.
Instagram every week. I'm coming up on episode number 300.
That's
They said,
incredible.
"You go live and you're afraid to do an email newsletter. Make it make sense." It doesn't make sense, but that's how my crazy mind works. It creates a narrative. And that's why chapter one in my book is, what story are you telling yourself and
Yeah.
what story are you believing?
So let's talk about that book right now, Jolt.
Yeah.
Love it. Where did that title come from? It's got to be from the energy level. Like you're like plugged into the wall, you know? But what was the motivation behind it, the inspiration? How long did it take? What's in there? And if we read it, what are we getting from it?
Great questions. I almost called it Unstuck. And I work with a book consultant that helped me because she believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Michelle Hill, nothing but love for you. She said, "Larry, you got a story and you need to tell it." I said, "I tell it all the time, Michelle. You can't stop me from talking. I talk all the time." She said, "No, Larry, you're not hearing me. Some people will never see you or hear you speak. The only way that they're going to hear your story and your lessons learned and lessons earned is through your book." I said, "Well, Michelle, I'm not a good writer. As Coach Kristen would say, up until now, I'm not the best writer, but I will surround myself with resources and tools and
Mhm.
processes that will help me to be the strongest writer that I can be." And Michelle Hill was my ghostwriter. She was my writing consultant. She interviewed me. We had it transcribed. She helped to place it and format it. And that was the 7 chapters of my book. The Genesis was my midweek, midday motivational minute. April 22nd of 2020. We were in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Whole world, woe is me. All the news is
Yeah.
bad news.
Right.
I said, "Hey, I'm not NBC, ABC, or CBS, but I am Larry Long Jr. I've got a platform of 40,000 followers on LinkedIn. I can do my part. I can control the controllables. So I went back on my porch. I did about 13 takes until my wife came. She was with my daughter who was having trouble with the mute button on Zoom and
Yeah.
crying. She
Yeah.
said, "Hey baby, I love you." Whenever she says that, I know I'm about to get bopped over the head. She said, "You're saying the same daggone thing. It's not getting any better. Just go ahead and ship it." And I'm a perfectionist, so I said,
Yeah.
"Okay, lucky number 13, I'll ship
Yeah.
it." And people enjoyed it. They
Yeah.
said, "Wow, this is good." And then I got approved to go live. It was right around episode number, I think, 38. I started going live and I just kept with it. But that's where my book came from. I took my 7 most meaningful chapters, and I put them in the written format. What story are you telling yourself and believing? Motivation, where does yours come from? The story of my life, strikeouts. They're a part of life. I've struck out on the baseball diamond, the
Yeah.
softball diamond in
Yeah.
life. You are what you consume, which would make me a fried chicken, but who are the people that you're spending time with?
Yeah.
Jim
Yeah.
Rohn says you're the average of the 5 people you
You
spend the
hang
most
around. Yeah.
time with. What's your definition of sales and how to make it work for you? We're all in sales. ABC,
Always be
mastering
closing.
the basics,
Yeah.
and then lessons from my dad. Chapter
Mm.
7 was a tribute to my dad, the
All right,
lessons
let's
I
talk. Let's
learned
drive
from
that
him.
one. Drive that one deeper. Lessons
Mm.
from your dad.
Yeah, just watching my dad, the love that he had for my mom, the love that he shared and he showed. He didn't miss a track meet for my sister, a basketball game for my sister, baseball game for me. A lot of people talk about love, but if you're from Missouri, you know it's the show me what you're working with state, and my dad showed it. He had a passion for fashion, which
Oh yeah.
thankfully, my stylist, my wife, has hooked me up. I don't naturally have it. He believed in fitness. He stretched every morning at 4:30 a.m. He did his little workout on his bike and
Yeah.
calisthenics downstairs in the basement. Early riser, went to work early, hard worker, faith, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, philanthropy, and his retirement plan. He didn't make it to retirement, unfortunately. We lost him to amyloidosis. It's a disorder of the blood,
Right.
kind of like cancer. But his goal was to. He grew up in the projects of Baltimore City.
Okay.
He wanted to go back and support the younger Larry Longs to show them it's one of those things where you can't be what you can't see. And he wanted to go back
Mm.
and show the kids. He never had that opportunity. And I'm taking that baton from
Yeah.
my dad and I'm spreading that positive, optimistic encouragement to youth as well as adults, and it's contagious. It's contagious
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
let it. I realize, and I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm able to
Toot toot.
impact a lot. Yeah, exactly. I'm able to impact a lot of people with my words of
Yeah.
encouragement, with my actions, and
Your energy.
my sincere belief. And a lot of people are lacking that belief in themselves. I'm not alone, and I share with
Yeah.
people, hey, whatever you see out there, don't believe the hype. I'm still challenged with believing that I belong, with
Yeah.
believing that I can. A fear of failure, and it's an irrational fear, but
Yeah.
oftentimes we are
Well, but
irrational.
Larry, let's talk about that. Fear of failure. I think it goes in two directions. One is some people are just fear of the job, which makes them fail or whatever is going on. And the other fear of failure is letting people down. And I think more people are afraid of the job that it takes to succeed, and they'd rather let people down than succeed. It's crazy, you know? So you answered the question already, your dad, because you're reading my mind. I have my list of questions here. I was going to say, my one question is, where did you find your passion to help people? That's my next question. So all that, just expand on that more. Your dad, but now you're doing it. You're touching thousands of people's lives. You know, you have self-doubt sometimes, right? How do you just keep it going?
I'm not the Black Simon cynic, but I love what he shares. Start with why.
Yeah.
Larry, why are you doing this? What is your why? For me, it's my father's legacy. My mother's still living, my sister's still living, my beautiful bride. It's right down the hall, my 16-year-old son, my 12-year-old daughter, my family, my ancestors, my relatives, my friend circle.
Yeah.
I owe it to them. And God put me on this earth for a reason. It
Mm.
wasn't to work in corporate America and manage 19 sellers. It was really to have a positive impact on the masses. And
Yeah.
that's it's a huge responsibility that I was built for this. And I love it. I
Yeah.
love nothing gives me more joy than to see someone else, the light bulb go off, and see someone else say, "You're right, Larry. I can. I can
Yeah.
start that business. I can ask for that raise. I can be great in the workplace. I can do it all and I can give back to my community. Thank you."
Yeah.
That's there's no better for me. There's no better feeling than that, and then knowing that you had an impact positively on someone. We're impacting people whether we know it or like,
Oh yeah.
whether we know it or not. It's either this way or
Or
it's
yep.
this way.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Right.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. So where did you LL, right? JR Enterprises. Where'd that come from? What inspired that? What is it? Let's spend some time there.
It's funny. My son, this would have been 5 years ago. My son at 11 years old designed this logo, the L, the J,
That's
Larry
cool.
Long Jr.,
That's
LL
cool.
Cool J.
Yeah.
So he designed it, but I'm brilliant, I'm bright. I used to work for Accenture as an IT consultant, so I had to hire a professional. I share with the professional my brand and kind of who I am. The professional, quote unquote, that I paid a pretty penny. They came back with this logo. I said, shoot, I should have just listened to my son. He's more brilliant and bright than
Yeah.
I give him credit for. So
Yeah.
LLJR's Larry Long Jr. Enterprises. Um, yeah, I've got a media company called Stolen Base. That was who published my company, Stolen Base Media, which ties into to me running and just any way that I can honor my father, my family, represent. The reason why I wrote the book was really legacy, so that my
Yeah.
kids and my grandkids to be would know who their grandfather, great grandfather was and what he stood for and what he was all about. And yeah, I'll be honest with you. I never thought I would be an author. And you could
Yeah.
ask any of my elementary, middle, high school English teachers. Larry Long Jr. wrote a book. They would say, "Where's Ashton Kutcher? Am I getting punked? There's no way that punk wrote a book."
Yeah.
But I did. And that process, my kids, they haven't said anything, but I know that they saw me grinding. They saw me with the manuscript, taking them to carpool and sitting in carpool, editing page by page with tears coming out of my eyes
Mm.
because it was tough. The work
Yeah.
was tough, and the fear of failure for me of not doing it well. And
Mm.
I'm a recovering perfectionist. What I realize is that perfect, I think they say perfect is the enemy of good. Like it's good enough. My book isn't a mass, it's not a Pulitzer Prize. It's okay. It's gonna touch the people that it needs to touch,
Yeah.
and that's good enough by me. I did it. I never
Yeah.
thought it was seriously like running a marathon. And my baseball coach said, Larry, Larry, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And those
Yeah.
words stick with me. We're running this race of life. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'll say yes, and I spoke for the International Cemetery Cremation and Funeral Association 2 years ago, and I mean, I killed it. They were dying to get me back again. I mean, it's a dying industry.
Yeah.
I'll stop with the death jokes. But we talked, and unfortunately, the place where you can find the most dreams is the
It's a
graveyard.
cemetery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many people take their dreams with them to the grave, and I do not want to see that happen. I will not let that happen for me. And I encourage everyone else. I give you permission right now. There's someone who's listening, someone who's watching that's oodling, noodling, and doodling on a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I give you the permission right now. And I'm not sponsored by Nike yet. You can go ahead and call me Mr. Knight. Just do it. right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Don't wait until next week. Don't wait until next year. Don't wait until it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Get started right now. Take the baby step. Take that first step. You won't regret it. I can guarantee there's no guarantees in life, but I can guarantee you from experience, you won't regret it. You
Yeah.
will possibly regret it if you don't do it.
If you don't. Yeah. So Larry, you're I don't know how many years, 15, 16, 18 plus years, in the coaching, training, motivational, inspirational, energetic business. You've seen a ton of people. You've worked with tons of people. I always ask this question the guys that are in the performance world. From where you sit and based on your experience that you've had and your expertise, what separates the good from the elite?
Mm, mm. I wish I could sum it up in one word, but it's not. It's really I'll call it the it factor. And we've played and we've worked with folks that have the it factor. I can give you an example. Jamie Babb, Matt Pittman, Chris Vasami, Brian Clem. Hey, Larry, what about the females? Jessica Markey. They had Sonia McBride. They had the it factor. Well, what is it? I can't put a pulse on it, but they just had it. Whatever it is that they choose to do in life, they're going to have great and grand success, no
Yeah.
matter what it is,
Yeah.
because they have a combination of the internal drive.
And they know it too.
They do, but they also struggle. They struggle as well, sometimes
Yep.
with the mindset, but they've been able to navigate
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
generally on the sports field. But Sonia McBride didn't play sports. She had the it factor.
Yeah.
Amazing sales professional. She knew exactly what she wanted. Her vision was clear. She had the I call it the epic. I want to work with people that are epic. They
Yeah.
had the entrepreneurial spirit. Entrepreneurs know you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
Athletes know you get out
Yeah.
of it what you put into it. If you have God given ability and you don't practice, you don't work on it, you're going to be here. If you have God given ability and you bust your behind, you're going to be here. The
Yeah.
P is preparation and
Mm.
planning. Like I said, I'm not Allen Iverson, but we are talking about practice.
Practice.
Are you working on your game? The I is the internal drive and desire. The great Les Brown says it
Mm.
best. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
That's Hongry. Hungry. Not hungry, but how badly do you want it? And then the C in Epic, I'm going to quadruple click on it. It's having the courage to do
Mm.
the tough things, to ask the tough questions of yourself, of your teammates, of your colleagues, of your community. So having the courage, it's having the confidence in yourself, even when everything is beating
Yeah.
you down. It's knowing that I am going to have success. I
Yeah.
might have hit a road bump, but I'm not giving up. I'm
Right.
confident. It's having the care. And care goes both ways, caring about others and taking care of yourself, your
Yeah.
mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. We're at a mental health crisis. I'm
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
board of WakeMed Foundation. We're raising $50 million right now. We call it the Courage to Confront Crisis. We're building a 150 bed facility for mental health.
Well.
Care is making sure you care for yourself. The
Yeah.
last C, I told you I was going to quadruple click, it's commitment.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that when you're committed, you move and you shake in a whole different way.
Different way. Yeah.
And I've worked with folks that I'll call pluggers. They're just plugging, just showing up to throw
Yeah.
up. They're not committed. When you're committed, ooh, it's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game. You go
Yeah.
about things differently, and I've seen it. Folks that they finally the light bulb goes off
Yeah.
and they look back and I just had this conversation with my son. I said, Trey, I love you. And I'm not going to force you to practice. I'm going to force you to get good grades. You're going to have to give it your all there. But as long as you get good grades, you can play all the video games you want. But Trey, I don't want you to get to 24 and look back and say, wow, my dad was right.
Yeah.
What if I devoted just 10%? of the time I spent on Valorant and Fortnite, and I'd worked on my fitness. I'd worked
Yeah.
on my athleticism. I'd worked on my ball handling skills in basketball and in soccer. What
Yeah.
if? That's what I don't want. So let's get ahead of it right now. If you're serious about this thing, let's go ahead and get disciplined. I'm here to support you, but I can't want it more than you want it. It's just what
Yeah.
my parents told me. If you commit to you, we'll commit to you. If
Yeah.
you invest in you, we just want the sweat equity. I'll give
Yeah.
you the sweat equity. We'll invest the equity equity. And
Yeah.
I've shared that with my son, and he's at a crossroads. I could see the gears turning because
Yeah.
he's getting it. Time is running out. There's a
Hmm.
window of
Yep.
opportunity
Yep.
that's
Knocking.
knocking,
Yeah.
and at some point, you missed it.
Yeah. You blink your eyes, pass you by,
That's it.
right? Wow. Well, listen, there's going to come a day, Larry. You're like you said before, you're a young guy. Compared to me, you're a young guy. But there's going to come a day when, you know, Larry Long Jr. is no longer here,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
And but your name's going to pop up in a lot of different places. And when it does, what do you want people to say about Larry Long Jr.? How do you want to be remembered by these people?
Yeah, legacy. I think about it a lot. I try to live my life number one with love. Just love. I love people. Sounds good, but what did you do? So I try to, the question I ask myself every morning, it's a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others?
Mm.
And I ask myself every morning, I look in the mirror. First, I ask myself, Larry, what happened to your hair? My
Eh.
barber's mad at me. I see you got a hat on, but I'm
Well, look,
sure you
I'm
got a
with you.
great mane.
I'm with you.
We got the same barber. I
Yeah.
love it. The second question I ask myself is, Larry, what will you do today to help someone else out? And if I don't have a good answer at the end of the day, I wasted that day. It's not meaningful. If I didn't help someone, what are you doing, Larry? And I make sure with intention that I'm
Yeah.
helping and I'm serving. So I want to be known as someone who cared and showed that he cared, someone who loved people, someone who was generous and giving of his time, his talents, his resources, and just the overall good guy. I just want to on my
Yeah.
tombstone, just the overall good guy. That would make me feel so good.
And you wanted a lot of room in the dash, right? Right?
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, Jeff, I appreciate you sharing that because so often we take for granted we're not guaranteed the next minute.
No.
Better yet, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And
No.
sometimes we operate, I'm guilty as charged, we operate like we'll be here forever.
Right.
The great Inky Johnson, I look up
Yeah.
to him. He shares that so many times people take for granted when you leave your house, you might not come
Come
back.
back. Yeah.
What are you doing? And it's a sobering wake up call, but I'm hopeful that there's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice survey says, nah, if it ain't broke, break it, shake it, flip it upside down. If you're going through life and just going through the motions, yes, I'm talking to you. Well, Larry, I feel targeted. Good. I hope this shakes up. This stirs something inside of you. It's doing it to me. If you're just going through the motions, stop it right now. Live a life with intention, with
Mm.
purpose, with meaning to serve other people. It could be
Yeah.
your family, and it could be your community, and it could be your friends. Serve someone else outside of yourself. It does a body good, and the world needs it right
Yeah.
now. Believe you me, the world needs you right now. So I hope that encourages someone. I hope that shakes someone up and
Yeah.
gives them all the feels. Ooh, I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm coasting through life. Stop it.
Yeah. Get plugged in,
That's right.
right? So Larry, how can people find you?
Oh man, Jeff, you're gonna hear me before you see me. They call me LinkedIn Larry, so look me up on LinkedIn, send me a message, engage. I've got a YouTube page, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, you name it. My
Yeah.
website is larrylongjr.com. That's Larry Long jr.com.
Yeah.
I would love to engage. And I share this with a lot of people, and a lot of people don't take me up. If I can support you, if I can serve as a resource, reach out to me. I guarantee you, I'll do everything in my power to support you. Yes, you. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Larry must be busy. Survey says, nah. We make time for what we find important. And I'm looking
Yeah.
you in the eye. Reach out to me if I can help. Try me.
Yeah.
Try me. Use me. Don't abuse me. I used to have, and I still am challenged with asking people for help. I used to own an indoor baseball and softball academy. We failed because we didn't know our numbers. We knew batting averages, RBIs, stolen bases. We didn't know the income statement, balance sheet, and statement of
Yeah.
cash flows. Me and my partner, we didn't want to look stupid in front of our CPA, so we didn't ask for help. We didn't ask for any other help. We were drowning and we didn't let anyone know. And that's why we went under. My coach said to me, Larry, that doesn't really make much sense, but you're human. It's okay. How do you feel when people ask you for help? I told her, I feel thrilled. I'm
Yeah.
honored that Jeff would trust in me to ask me to support him and to help me. I love it. She said, great. Why would you be so selfish, Larry, to not allow someone else to have that feeling of being
Mm,
privileged and honored to help you? Why would you deprive them of it?
that's great.
Mind blown. Healthy people, and I got this from my coach, Kristen Fraid. She works with a lot of athletes, pro athletes, college athletes. Uh, Healthy people ask for exactly what they want. If I
Mm,
can help you, make the ask.
that's awesome. That's one way. That's a hell of a way to end it. Drop the mic. Well, Larry, this has been a phenomenal time with you. It's literally like you're plugged into the wall. The electricity is intense. But is there anything we haven't touched on do you think we should hit before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would. This has been on my mind. I just want to share a word of encouragement to anyone that might be struggling. And this is specifically for you. I'm looking at you. You're doing great. Don't worry about what anyone else is saying. Don't worry about those voices. You're doing great. I'm encouraging you to continue working. We're all whips. We're all works in progress.
Yeah.
Don't believe the hype. A lot of times when we look on social media, the news, it's easy to assume everyone else is perfect. Their life is awesome. No, they got it figured out. No, you're doing great. Keep working hard. Keep putting on the thinking cap. Keep surrounding yourself with good people. We is greater than me. You're going to be a-okay. Ask for help. If I can support you, I'm gonna speak for Jeff. If he can support you, we're here. You've got resources
Yeah.
and you're doing great. That's just what I want to share with folks. You're doing great.
That's awesome. Great way to end it. Larry, thanks for being on the show. And I hope everybody subscribes to your email, connects to you on LinkedIn and follows you, gets your motivational message and just and get your book. Get the book, order the book, read it, and let's I said get jolted, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Jeff, I
Larry,
can't
thanks
thank you.
again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Stay strong.
Thank you, Jeff.